My name is Jovonna Jackson. I am from the South Side of Chicago, ceramic, mosaic, mural artist.
How'd you begin?
Well, it would have to be just my mom knowing I have some type of like passion for art, and she put me in like programs like Gallery 37, which is known as, After School Matters. And I worked every season. Every time they had like an audition for it, I went on and just applied and submitted work. This is my first piece that I actually submitted as my first mosaic. And this is what I submitted.
I'm so happy you have the first piece you submitted.
That piece was one of the first pieces after like my first time ever. That was actually my second audition. I actually submitted that. My first time submitting it, I tried to take a stab at painting. And I didn't know that oil paint takes a long time to dry. So that was like a horrific moment because I did it the night before because I'm quite the procrastinator. Thanks. I acknowledge that. I know I got that in me. Did that project and brought it up there to audition downtown. They accepted it, and I started going into ceramics. A few of the pieces that I have, I'm actually finding a lot of my projects that I've glazed or need to be glazed just to get out of this space on this side. Because just do a quick little review. I have like shelves over here. And like that's a box over here from the 17th Ward project with Alderman Moore. And that came later on in my career when I did a project with Hamilton Park Culture Center. And it started off as just a residency where I had to just propose to do a few different activations in Chicago in their like Inglewood Community Park District for just a certain period of time. So I just offered like hand building, handcrafting classes while I produced the project for them. So later on, I just pretty much offered those type of things in a lot of different organizations that might need my help or support. They want some type of cool thing or something dealing with ceramics. So here's like one of my pieces that I recently made. It's an oil warmer. You put the oil up here, and then you put your little tea light right here. Okay. I'm gonna rotate it around. I got a few different stencils that I was just trying out. This is like the first of many. It's just different testing out, different glazes is fun for me. So like when I want to make my different towels in for the mosaics, this is like different ways that you can add different textures.
How was your support system when you began on the creative journey? Like your family and your friends, were they like super like on board?
Honestly, it was cool for the Gallery 37 thing, but my mom wanted me to go to school for something that would be probably more sustainable for me. You know how parents are like, yo, don't do that. Like, I didn't raise you to be no starving artist. What are you doing? Why do you want to accept this? You're smart, da 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 da. And I'm glad that she still to this day still says these things. But now she's starting to get it, I think. Like that's a good feeling. But she made me go to school, and I went to school for culinary arts. So I have a degree in food, but I also like selected different things that I kind of already knew I was good at, but like I wanted to get more enhancement on. And I did it at Kennedy King. So I went to Washburn Culinary School when they were on 67th and Wentworth, when it was at the old Kennedy King. Now they're at the new Kennedy King. I didn't really go into that where they have this restaurant, Cicada, I opened up the parrot cage at the South Shore Culture Center. My grandmother, I feel like she's the one who, my grandmother and my auntie, they're artists too. Like my grandmother is an artist in the form of like, this woman could practically build a house. Like there's things in my garage right now that I literally would have to call her or send her a picture like, hey, do you know how to use this type of thing? So she's not really enhanced in the food department, but like that's where I come in for the family, I guess.
What's the biggest lesson you learned about yourself?
Oh, I think I told you already. That was the procrastinating. That was a real thing. Like, and then also like my time management. I want to do so much and be able to help so many people. What I learned is that I can get it done. I just have to time management and time manage my stuff. Like just really find balance in personal life and my meditation life. Like that's really vital for me in this, what I'm doing. And I realized like this is your meditation. That's why you do it. So like I was in a couple of meetings today and I've been in this spot all day.
What are the hurdles you had to overcome?
Honestly, the obstacle for me is just making sure my car runs good so I can keep commuting to all these different places. That's honestly, sis, that will be my biggest struggle. That will be my biggest struggle. And finding like real help, real support that, you know, I don't know, like just getting real support when it comes to moving big pieces like this. When I said I wanted to do a base for this project, people don't see what I be thinking when I actually like once I get it done and they're like, oh, she for real. She's really, yeah. Bring your power tools, please and thank you. Let's get this done. I wanna be able to like this is just the tip of the iceberg of what I want to accomplish in my career. Like
What has consistency taught you?
it doesn't exist in art. It gets better. It gets better like wine. It gets good, you know. I'm looking back on my first pieces to the current ones. Um, and even projects that I've been able to work on with other people. You know, I'm grateful to have been able to work with people like Sonia Henderson on a few projects. You know, she's the young lady who gave Chicago their first living monument of MLK. That's in Marquette Park, where he had Maltel cocktail bottles thrown at him in our city. You know, for a peaceful rally. And she gave him his first living monument here in Chicago. I got to work with her on a Stroger Hospital project and a recent one that we did for North Lawndale. Every organization I feel like challenges me as an artist because they know what I do. So they're like, oh, she makes her own towel. Oh, yeah, she can, you know, teach you guys how to make some other stuff to use. So I taught like bird feeding classes, bird feeder making classes. Even though I found out like that's something that Chicago don't want to do because they like that's feeding the rats. So
What are the sacrifices you had to make?
oh, really, I don't feel like I have. Being so versatile, I don't feel like I made many. I think being with people more, that will be the sacrifice. I like to create different experiences. Like I'm into planning food now, and I've been making planters where people can make their own because they're very expensive if you get big plants. So I made plaster molds of one. So I feel like I try not to acknowledge the obstacle and just come up with a solution. It will be just with my childcare, honestly. Being able like I'm happy with having them at home, but then I do need them to be really it's not childcare, it's more like tutoring. I'm more so worried about their brain. You know, they're pretty much taking care of themselves, really. I just need to make sure they don't burn the house down. You know, that's really why I'm here. But they, I want them to focus more. They totally support me on what I'm doing, but I want them to get the book part first. That will be more so me in my personal life. Struggling with that is a real thing as an artist, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be ignorant to my situation, you know what I'm saying? Like I know I want to create as much many projects in one year, and like they see me on both ends. Like I have to beg them for my computer just to finish a grant, you know. just to but like there's Roblox always trying to win it over, but that would be my biggest struggle. Like when it comes to art, honestly, like I'm going through that Millennium Park project that I just mentioned to you. I think I'm still at like maybe a good 2 pounds left of the leftover of that project of Venetian glass. And that's the stuff that like I'm showing you. I haven't really had to purchase new tiles until recently this year. Like I order and get like what I'm left over of other things, but I've been so blessed to have the different relationships that I've had, because I think I know the art behind bartering with people, understanding what people need and seeing what they can do for you. Basically, honestly, that's not
What are the expectations you needed to let go of?
that everybody gonna understand your vision, and I'm gonna add more to it. Don't expect yourself from others. That's personal. So art wise, don't expect everybody to see your vision, and don't expect yourself from others, and that they're going to understand where you're coming from. You really have to explain things to people of where you're really coming from. And if that don't work, just do it. This project right here alone was a with the shared library. They end up showing me like how I could have done it simpler. But if your community voted on me to actually do this, then I'm going to give them what I want to continue growing as an artist. I don't want to be put in a box. I want to really be shown like we can mosaic anything. We almost had a project to mosaic pianos and let them get set out in the community. Like I wanted to do that and give that to people to actually walk up and play on it. That will be the fingers crossed that happens still too, because I'm down.
In your personal, I feel like everybody, I asked this one question because I think everybody has their own personal view in their world of what success means for them. So what does success mean for you?
Wow, I want to say considered a master at the field I'm in. I don't know. Considered one of the greats to ever touch a nipper, you know? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Honestly, I like that. And I felt like you answered it in another way too. Like you serve your community. I think that's really on your heart. And I think you're doing it. So I feel like you're doing everything you are out to do. You know what I'm saying? Like this is success. I see that as success for you, you know?
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. I be trying. I be trying. No, the money don't measure your success. I feel like the people and the lives that you connect and get to try to help and uplift, I think that should value your success. You know what I'm saying? How people speak about you when you're not in the room, I will hope that people think like, yo, Joe definitely tries to give as much as she can to her community and don't get as paid as much as she should, honestly. And I know I don't, because I just want to just create those memories and experiences for people when they do get to come around and see what's hidden in their back door, their community. You know what I'm saying? I came from Inglewood, where my mother, watching her show me the different houses and stuff that they grew up in that are no longer there, you know, that's, and then she gets to walk past a mural that's something that I was a part of. It's like a, like everything's leaving, but look what's left. You know, that's at least I'm trying to show her that like I'm trying to put gems on the walls of her childhood. you know?
Like you
That's my
answered the
goal.
next question is what inspires you to keep going. I feel like you answered that already.
My family and my community, you know? My mother is a mother that she's a Taurus and she's very intimidating. So I'll do whatever that woman tells me to do, pretty much. She scares me. But no, her mother is a strong woman and a homeowner. And I want to um, just show that like strong women came from us. That's all. Like they're tough, some tough cookies. And I do a lot similar. I see some of my different traits that I have in the way I work, and I see that in them because they don't know how to sit still either.
What a part of the journey you had to learn to love?
I had to understand that all these missing. Okay, so I have throughout this whole garage maybe 4 unfinished mosaics, right? Maybe 5, maybe 5. But the fact that they're half finished, it shows that like these pieces that I'm implementing in this project right now are pieces that I had no idea what direction I was going. I had no idea where I was going with it. Just finish, just do it and sit it out to the side. I learned that those creative blocks are just gems that are just being put on you to just push out and then save to later and then it'll make sense later. Like don't throw it away. It's all gonna make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like that goes in so many ways of writing.
What is your advice for the next person behind you?
Uh hmm. Don't doubt yourself. Give yourself more grace and push every envelope possible when it comes to I'm guessing this is somebody in ceramics and in mosaics because I definitely made both worlds collide, and it's like a chemistry lab up in here, and I like that. When I have guests, they're like, "Whoa, yeah," because I've tried many different steps, and I wanted to try different surfaces, and I think just sky's the limit. You know, invest in yourself. Sometimes self love is also investing in your craft that can potentially feed you. I don't know, like every little bit helps of you investing in your path, I feel. And YouTube is amazing. Please never forget when you have a struggle, go to YouTube, YouTube University.
Honestly, that is gonna be on an Instagram clip because that's hilarious. And it's so true though. YouTube University. I love that.